All right, welcome back. We're going to have a math lesson today, but most of you figured out that this was from Friends. And over here, let's just introduce all my friends. We've got Ross and Chandler and Monica. And up there is Rachel. Over here, this side is Phoebe. And I think cut off over here is Joey. Okay, so let's open our math books to page 661, and we're going to do parallelograms. So please pause the video, page 661, and then restart the video. Ready, go. Okay, hello everybody. You should be on page 661 in your book or on the screen, whichever you're doing. And we are learning about parallelograms for now. And as you can read up here, we're learning about three big words here: polygon, parallelogram, and rhombus. So in the outer circle, we're going to put a polygon, right? The word polygon. Polygon. And so gon pretty much means shape. Poly means many. So a polygon is any many-sided shape, meaning three or more sides that are closed off. So you can draw any weird shape you want. And as long as it is an enclosed shape, that is a polygon. Also, I mean, you could draw a triangle as a polygon, a square as a polygon, and so on and so forth. And then in the next circle, we're going to talk about one particular special kind of polygon, and that is a parallelogram. Parallelogram. And as you can see, a parallelogram is a quadrilateral with opposite sides parallel and opposite sides the same length, which means parallelogram looks like this, like a rectangle that's leaning over, right? That's a parallelogram. And then within parallelograms, there's a special kind of parallelogram, sort of how the same way a square is a special kind of rectangle. Here we have a rhombus, R-H-O-M-B-U-S. It is a parallelogram, but with all sides of equal length. So make believe I'm drawing this perfectly. It's like a square that's leaning over. Got it? Cool. Let's go to the next page. So for a parallelogram, to find the area, well, let's just review. You remember how you find the area of a rectangle, right? If it's a rectangle, so you say length times width or base times height. It's this side times that side will find you the area. On a parallelogram, it's sort of the same. It's the base times the height. So we do not measure the diagonal. We measure the straight up and down line here. That is the height to find it. That's why it says symbols. So it's area equals base times height. Let's take a little look at this cool slideshow thing I made for you, and we'll explain it. Okay, so here we have one of the problems of the day that I've done in the past. And as you can see, we have a rectangle here that is 6 inches by 10 inches. And you guys should know how to find the area of that rectangle, right? It's just 6 times 10, which is 60 square inches. Easy, right? So on the next slide, we have the same rectangle. It is 60 square inches, right? Now, if I take part of this rectangle and I move it over here, I have not taken away or added anything to the area. I just moved it. So it is still 60 square inches. And the way we measure it is the base, which is 10 inches still, right? I just put a few of those inches from there. I moved them over here. So the base is still 10 inches. And the height is still 6 inches. Now we measure the height going straight up and down, not the diagonal. No, no, no. We measure straight up and down. So the height is still 6. The base is still 10, so the area is still 60 square inches. Cool, so now that you saw that, you should understand how to figure these things out. So let's go to page 663. This is page 663. This is really important because this is sort of a trick here. Here we have a parallelogram where the base is 20, the height is 11, but look, they give you the length of this side, 13. We do not care about this side. We do not care about the length of the diagonal. We want to know the height. So the height is straight up and down. So this would be 11 times 20, right? Or 20 times 11, because it's base times height. 20 times 11, which is 220. Got it? Cool. Now you try A and B on your own. Ready, go. All right, so now they're presenting these in different ways. Here, you just have to count the squares, and here they give you numbers to use. So let's count the squares here. On A, we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the base is 6. And for the height, remember, we're not counting the diagonal. We count straight up and down. 1, 2, 3 high. So it's the height is 3. So we do 3 times 6 is, you should have 18. You got it? But we would never just write an 18 because for area, it's always going to be in square units. So here they don't say whether it's inches or feet or whatever. So we would say 18, you can either write it as units with a little 2 on top, which means squared, or you can write square units. Same thing. Let's try this one, which this one is in meters. So we have the base. So again, you have area equals base times height. So the base is 4, and the height. Now, which one of these is the height? Notice they're different. So again, the diagonal line, we don't care about. We want the height, which is 16. So it's going to be 4 times 16. 16 times 4, which we know is 64. So this one we're going to write 64 meters squared. Got it? Because we're counting square meters because it's area. Cool. Now let's go to the next section. Now, if you did the Google pre-test quiz, then this should be easy because it's just like it. It's finding the missing dimensions of the parallelogram. So here they give you the whole area and they give you one of the dimensions, 9 inches. So what is this going to be? Well, you know that 9 times something has to equal 45, or you could do 45 divided by 9 equals something, right? So, or you could use it the formula way. You know that area equals base times height, and we know the area is 45, so 45 equals, and we know the base is 9, equals 9 times h, 9h. So the same thing, you just do 45 divided by 9, which is 5. So the height is 5 inches. So now you try C and D on your own. Pause right here. All right, so hopefully you figured out that 6 times something is 48, and we know that 6 times 8 is 48, so that's going to be 8 meters. So notice here we're just giving you the length of one line, not the whole area. So your answer is just going to be 8 meters, not square meters. And again, this one too. So if that is 8 yards, then what's the height, this dimension going to be? It's going to be 96 divided by 8, which is 12. And this is just going to be 12 yards, not square yards, because this is not representing the whole area. It's just one dimension. Cool. Let's go to the next page. Okay, so now we're on the next page, page 664. I'll just write page 664. And here in this example, it says, Ramil is painting a replica of the national flag of Trinidad and Tobago for a research project. Find the area of the black stripe. So here's the black stripe. And we know the base of it is 6 3/4. The height is way over here, right? It's 12 inches. So the height, remember, you don't measure the diagonal line. It's a straight up and down. So from the top to the bottom is 12 inches. So how do you find the area? It's just 12 times 6 3/4. And look at that. They did it for you. 6 3/4 times 12 is 81. Got it? Cool. Let's try some guided practice. This is a guided practice song. Do the problems, don't get them wrong. Yeah. All right, why don't you try now number 1. Ready, go. All right, so for number 1, if you count, and how about this? If it's hard to see on the screen, I'll count for you. The base is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 6, and the height is just 1, 2, right? Because we're just measuring this straight up and down, 1, 2. So it's 6 by 2. What's the area? You should have, the area is 12 square units. You can write it like that. Okay, now try number 2 on your own. Ready, go. Okay, so number 2, you should just have 5 times 10, which is 50. And you can either write it as square feet or feet. The little 2 on top means feet squared. And let's try number 3. Okay, so you should have gotten not 8 times 11. No, 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 because that's measuring the diagonal. So not that. It is 7 times 11, which is 77. And I'll just write it differently this time so you can see both ways. Square meters. They're both, or I could have written meters with a little 2 on top. Great. Let's try number 4 on your own. Ready, go. Okay, so this says find the height of a parallelogram if its base is 35 and the area is 700. So that means it's going to be 35 times, so if the base is 35, that means 35h equals 700, right? Or 35 times something equals 700. I could also write that as 700 divided by 35. And we all know that 700 divided by 35 is going to be 20. So your answer should be 20 centimeters. Cool. All right. Let's try number 5. The size of the parallelogram piece is set in a tangram is shown at the right. Find the area of the piece. So what is the area? So, oh yeah, try it on your own. Ready, go. All right, so do we care about this 6 centimeters? No, we don't, because we want the base, which is here, and the height, which is here. So it's 2.6 times 5.1. 2.6 times 5.1. Hopefully you did all that, and you got 13.26 centimeters squared. Got it? Cool. You're gonna do independent practice page 665. Page 665. Now do all the problems, all just 1 through 8. 1 through 8. Who you gonna do it right? Do them careful, don't make a mistake. Oh yeah. So please do page 665. 665. 665. Yeah. The problems, all of them, that's 1 through 8, yeah, do all of the problems, oh yeah. 665, numbers 1 through 8, rock on.